Welcome back to the Big Weekend Show. Olympic outrage is growing. Now, not one, but two boxers who failed gender tests will be leaving Paris with medals. One of them, a Taiwanese national, won and will move on into the semifinals. After the match, the fighter who lost appeared to make an X with her fingers. Meanwhile, the Algerian boxer who also failed the gender test is also guaranteed an Olympic medal. The president of the IOC weighing in. Listen.
How can somebody being born, raised, competed, and having a passport as a woman cannot be considered a woman? We will not take part in a politically motivated, sometimes politically motivated cultural war.
So I guess a passport dictates gender. All right, well, it is now a big political issue. Trump is vowing to protect female athletes.
They want to have men playing in women's sports. You saw the boxer today, the Italian female boxer, just saying, I can't be two shots. Two shots. She pulled away. She said, I can't fight this.
40 seconds in.
There will be no men playing in women's sports when we're elected.
For many female athletes, Harris's silence is deafening, particularly since she claims to be an ardent supporter of women's sports. A few months ago, Harris said, quote, I applaud everyone who understands the phenomenal talent and excellence of these women and girls who are not afraid to compete, who are embraced for having ambition, embraced for wanting to win. Yet, continuously, David, their dreams are stolen by men.
Yeah, it just I'm going to use angers me. I'll use that. One, as somebody who played sports. Two, as somebody who coached girls' sports. And I would never want any of those young girls playing against men. But on top of that, this IOC chair, the president of the IOC, or whatever his title is, doesn't know what he's talking about. He's assuming or taking what's on paper and not dealing with their own rules. Think how outraged we were when they doped women. Go back to the 80s. The doping of women by the Russians to make them compete at male levels against other women. The IOC went nuts over that. Now they're allowing in a different way that same achieved level of male performance capability. So you basically have two males, when it comes to the biology of it, beating up women. I mean, I just...
And one of those...
It's frustrating. I know it's nuanced, by the way, to some degree, but let's not ignore that they have tests for levels of testosterone, and they have these various tests for a reason. So what's written on your damn passport isn't what makes you a woman.
Well, but one of those female boxers, the Italian boxer Angela Carini, now apologizes. She says this, all this controversy makes me sad. I'm sorry for my opponent, too. The IOC said she can fight. I respect that decision. I was angry because my Olympics had gone up in smoke. 46 seconds, Charlie, that she lasted, said that she had never been punched like this before. Someone's going to die.
Yeah, so the IOC president lied. They did nothing to test the gender of these people, and therefore they can't enforce the most basic of their rules. This is not some stupid culture war thing that this guy's talking about pronouns or which bathrooms or which stupid science you want to lie to children about. This is about preventing a man from beating a woman to death at the Olympics on an international stage. That's what this is about, and the IOC should be condemned. That guy Bach should be fired from the IOC, and you're right, somebody's going to get hurt.
Alicia?
So many people who watch this are little girls, and they grow up, and some of them become Olympic athletes because they started watching these events when they were children, and now they're seeing this controversy unfold. I can't see how that...
You know, I got to throw this in. Downtown New York right now on 6th Avenue in the Village is a big billboard about 3 stories high of a young girl with boxing gloves, getting ready for 2036. Are they going to put up a billboard of the man who's going to be beating her up in 2036? I'm being sarcastic, but this is real.
Well, and 69% of Americans agree with President Trump on this.